we are gonna show you a method that we're very excited about, and it's a new method with the seamless weft. And we really are excited about the seamless weft in general, and what we're using today is the body wave. So the way that we are sewing the seamless weft together, I have pre-sewn a little bit, is first I stitched with the invisible thread, just in out, and there was 2 wefts that I put together. But we actually have 3 wefts in total. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the very top of just below the top stitch, and then we're gonna go through that, and then we're gonna take our thread and we're gonna put it over the needle. So I went through here, and I'm gonna put it over my needle, and I'm trying to hold with my fingers, then it's easier for me to keep the threads straight. So I do this again and just go over with the thread on my needle, pulling it through. Do too tight. You actually have to, if you've got to make it tight, then loosen it up a little bit. Because the whole secret with this method is that we can actually open up the weft at the end. So I'm just gonna keep going. You can make bigger stitches or further in between with the stitches if you want to, all depend on how many attachment points that you want to make. I like to not go too far in between because that would also hold the weft better together. Could you use just a regular straight needle? Sure. Whatever works the best for you. I just like to use that kind of needle because I can direct it any way I want to. So. But you have to have a pretty pointed needle so you can go through all the wefts that you're putting together. Some might ask, could we use 4 wefts? And I would definitely say yes, you could definitely use 4 wefts if your client's hair could take it. I do not believe that my client here, hair could take 4 wefts. I think that would still be too heavy. And I think so also if it was the hand-tied weft. I don't think 4 wefts would work for her. What I do here at the end is I go around the needle just to end it 3 times. I still stay on the very top. The whole great way that we actually gonna use this weft is that we can actually open it up. So we can open it, and the idea is that we are going to use this as an attachment point, so we can actually pull the hair through these different areas that are here in between the stitches. And once we're done, we can close it back down again and close the weft over it. So I have placed my wefts on, I first parted her, my client's hair. And as always, I like to make sure that I have rounded it a bit on the side, so where I will place it is approximately here. So, and then I will just make sure I can always lift it up to make sure that I am actually following my parting, which I have put some effort into. And if we turn her around, it's the same thing. I have made sure that it's rounded, and again, why I do that is because gravity will pull it backwards. The reason why we have it rounded this way, not going straight, is actually it follows her head shape much better and how the hair grows. So this would be much more comfortable. Also, because I go further down and not straight across, it gives her actually more hair with the extensions. The weft would be shorter if I placed it up here. But also it gives her more hair in the nape. So for extending the hair is a good idea because I will pick up the length of her hair in the nape as well. So I'm going to start in one of the sides, and then I will just make sure that I am aligned. And I simply go through, because I have opened up the weft. Like I showed before, I placed the hair, so I've just opened it up. And I can literally go through here and just pick up hair. I gotta make sure I go where it actually is supposed to go to. So I go in pick up here, and I go back to the weft. I would never go back and pick up the hair here, even if it's more easy for me. I would like to pick up here actually a little ahead of this stitch here, so I'm gonna go through here. And the reason why is I don't like any ends that are not really closed up, like meaning that they are attached. So nothing flapping on the sides that would be uncomfortable for my client. I just pull hair through both of those, and that means that this whole part will actually sit very close. There won't be that flapping end if I had picked up from the following attachment point. It will really be covered, so could it be okay with using the light roundings? Yeah, because it really is going to be covered. But you always want to match as much as you can, whether it's color for the extensions, the hair extensions, or the lengths. But I could honestly get away with it because, again, at the end, the extension will actually cover the lengths. So I'm gonna go down. This is very important. I cannot close it this way because it would actually cause breakage of my client's hair. I have to move the link and then I can close it. So I have to always be, it might look a little loose now, but once I get the weft down, it will actually be snug. Not uncomfortable, but snug. And I will do a couple, then I will go over to the other side. Then I'm sure that I have my placement in order. Am I not certain about where is my parting actually? I can always lift up the hair and say, oh, okay, there it is. So I'm doing exactly the same as I did in the other side, and I want to just make sure that you guys are seeing it. I do not want this to be going too far over, so it has to be aligned where I picked up the hair. If this is going way forward, if she brush or comb her hair, which happens every day, then we can actually cause breakage right here. So the next one that I'm doing, remember I said it's going to be a little looser. I don't want it too tight because once I let the top weft come down over this link, it would actually be pretty snug. But I also need to turn the hair a little bit, so I make that rounding so gravity won't pull this link and pull out her hair. So I actually want to show you this. So again, they have to be a little looser, and you will see after that it's important because we don't want them to be, these links to be like standing out. We really want to have it lie flat. So we need that little extra cushion, a little bit extra amount of hair so they actually lie flat. And I will now go to the center. This is just my way of attaching. I'm not saying there's one way or the other that is the right way. But I like to align on each side and make sure that I have it centered correctly, and then I go to the center in the back, in the nape, and then I attach here. Because then I know I have balanced out the weight of the hair. So it's not like it's too tight over here and get loose over there, because I spread it out this way. And if I get too much hair, I can just always let go of it and then just ignore it. It doesn't damage your client's hair. It's just you don't want to pull too much hair. So I pulled actually too much hair here, and I'm just gonna let it go. Like I said in the beginning, you don't have to use every single stitch. So I am gonna, and in particular here in the back, there are much more hair, so I can definitely put about an inch in between. So I'm gonna do that, and actually I want to show you again. Just want to make sure that my weft is aligned with where I parted the hair. So, and it is. So I'm good to go. Always want just that, enough hair. So we never want it to be that the link slides, or that too little hair can also cause breakage of the client's hair. So we don't want, for that reason, we don't want it either. We don't want too much hair either. so it gets bulky, and you know, I like to, you know, put the hair loop it, double loop it, just for extra security so it doesn't slide. And if I want to do that, I need to have enough room in those links, and I use the small links as much as I possibly can. The mine are 4.0 millimeter, and they are the brown. I just think they're the dark brown. So now I'll go back to my size to just check my parting again. Just want to ensure that I'm not going to go away from that. Again, I want to make sure that I am following my parting, and I am still. I'm good. So I'm just going to keep going. And you can see here in the sides, I don't have too much space in between because I want more support. There is not as much here as there is in the back, in the nape area. So I want to make sure that that the hair is supported. Since we are using silicone line links, it's no problem actually to just wet it a little bit. It won't slide for that reason or anything like that. So you're good. And sometimes it's just easier to pull it through. And now I start getting a little further back, so I have no problem actually with simply just go a little further in between. I could also, again, just make sure that I'm pretty much right on where I parted the hair. So it's simple to check your work that way, and because it can be hard to you can't see through the weft, of course. So you just want to make sure that you are following your parting. And if you've done a good job with parting, you're going to do a good job with attachment, as long as you just follow that parting. And it is a pretty efficient method. Once you have prepped your weft, you can prep it so you have sewn. Sometimes we don't know how much you're going to use, so just prep the the whole width of the weft, and you know approximately how much it is. I use my own head sometimes just to make sure that I get the measurements right, and so I have so I double that if I do 2 rows, or I triple it depending on what I'm doing. But it's a good way to just have it sewn, and then you cut it, and then you go about 1.5 inch back, and you just restitch it. But all this you don't have to do over, and you can do it at your whenever it's more convenient for you time-wise. And then whatever it takes of time to attach it, that's it. So I feel like I'm almost like with the client this time than I am prepping that it takes me to prep the hair. It's a pretty efficient and fast method. So pull the hair through, and then you double loop it if you want just to do it for security, else you don't double loop it, you just pull the hair through once. So because I'm at the end, I would rather put that extra link in here, as I could probably have put that link over here, but I would rather that I put an extra link in. This is where she has the least hair on her head. That we had the 2 wefts below, and we have the 1 weft above. So we're about to pull that down, so I will show you what it looks like once we pull it down. This is actually our placement. And as you can see, there is no links visual, and not even if I try to separate the hair, you can't see the links because they're actually aligned underneath the weft. And that is also comfortable for the client because they can't feel any links on their scalp.